Welcome back, my duelist friends. Casual Duelist here, and it is Monday, so we're taking that quick little break in between all the opening videos of like the Pathfinder battles and the different types of D&D figures that are like the official icons or whatever of the realm sets. And today we're going to be doing sort of like a modern green, mono green elf, very Nissa themed deck of mine from Magic the Gathering. And it's a little goofy. It's not really standard or anything. And it doesn't play from a single block like a lot of my stuff does. But to start it off, I have a surprising 20 forests. So it's a quick third of your deck. And normally I don't play that much when I'm playing mono green. So it's been a few years since I dusted this one off. Let's see what I was thinking. The first card I have my Planeswalker Nissa. And my Planeswalker Nissa casts on 3 for 3 devotion, has 3 effects, +1 gives us a 0/1 green plant token, a -2 gives us a 1/1 counter on every creature we control, and a -7 gives us X life and X draws, where X is the number of lands we control, which may be why there was so many land. I'm not sure. But this is her Voice of Zendikar version. Next up, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Dwynen, the Gilt Leaf Dane. And this is one of those legendary elves that's kind of got like a little following of her own as you go through the cards. She is legendary. She is going to cast on 4 for a 3/4 with reach, which means she may block as though she had flying. Other elf creatures generically will get a +1/1 while she is in play. And whenever she attacks, I will gain 1 life for each attacking elf that I control. And again, unlike Yu-Gi-Oh! In Magic, I must declare all my attackers in 1 move. And then, so it could be anywhere from 1 card to like 1,000, depending on your strategy and how many tokens you can spawn. Because that's a thing. Next up, we're going to show off her followers, the Dwynen's Elite. So these elves are going to be 2/2s on 2. When they enter the battlefield, if you control another elf card, place a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token into play. So you'll get a 1/1 and a 2/2, and if she's in play, the 2/2 gets 1/1, and the 2/2 the 1/1 gets 1/1. So it's actually a 2/2 and a 3/3, as long as she's generically around. So there's a lot of like synergistic plays in around these types of elves. Next up, we're going to play 4 copies of the Elvish Visionary, simple 1/1 on 2 that allows us to draw 1 card when it enters play. Very good. 3 copies of the Embodiment of Insight. This elemental is going to have vigilance, which means when it attacks, it does not tap or exhaust itself. It is going to be a 4/4 that casts on 5. Land creatures that I control will have vigilance, which is fine, and landfall effect. So whenever a land enters play, we will do something. In this case, we will have target land become a 3/3 elemental with haste until the end of the turn. It's still a land. This means it still functions. It can still tap for mana. But it will only be a creature till the end of the turn, which is why they had to give it haste, because technically, if you just put that land into play and you choose that piece of land, you should be allowed to attack with it through the effect. Next up, we're going to have 1 copy of the Gladeheart Cavalry. This is going to be a 6/6 on cast 7. When it enters the battlefield, it performs support 6, so you get to place a 1/1 counter on up to each of 6 other target creatures. This does mean that you cannot dump multiple tokens on the same creature. Additionally, whenever a creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it dies, you will gain 2 life. So it behooves you to keep him safe while maybe placing the tokens on a bunch of like the token monsters, the counters. Sorry. Next up, we're going to be having 3 copies of Leaf Gilder. This is an elf druid. It's a 2/1 on 2 that taps to add 1 green to the mana pool as though it were a forest. The next one, I think, is a flip card. So if you guys will just bear with me as I take it from its sleeve. We have Nissa, the Vastwood Seer. This shows Nissa Ravane as a regular monster card. Of course, legendary, so only 1 can exist at a time. Casts on 3 for a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic forest, reveal it, place it in your hand, shuffle. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, if you control 7 or more, you may exile Nissa, then return her transformed under her owner's control. This right here is the little symbol that lets you know it's going to transform. And when it transforms into Nissa, Sage Animist, which is a Planeswalker. So we never actually get to cast this one, but she'll evolve into it. Devotion starts at 3. For the +1, we reveal the top card of the library. If it's land, place it in play. Otherwise, put it in our hand. On a -2, put a legendary 4/4 green elemental token named Ashaya, the Awoken World, onto the battlefield. And again, that would be under our control. And then for 7, we would get to untap up to 6 target lands, and they become 6/6 elemental creatures that are still lands. And it's not till the end of the turn, so just keep that in mind. We're going to go ahead and slide her back into her sleeve now, as she deserves it. Next creature spell that we're going to use 3 copies of the Oran Rift Hydra. And again, I love Hydras. This is going to be a 5/5 on 6 with trample. So much like our piercing works in Yu-Gi-Oh! If our power is stronger than the opponent's toughness when blocked or when we do the blocking, we can transfer the rest as points of damage to the player. And its landfall effect, whenever land enters battlefield under our control, place a 1/1 counter on the Hydra. If that land is forest, give it 2 instead. So, again, get your dice ready, my friends. So, you're going to need them. Because that thing could get quite large quite quick. And then the last creature spell that I play was a Sylvan Advocate. It's a 2/3 on 2. Again, vigilance, and as long as you control 6 or more land, add Sylvan Advocate plus land creatures I control get +2/+2. So it does allow for a lot of buffing to occur all at once. I only play 1 instant. I play 2 copies of it. That would be the Elemental Uprising. Casts on 2, and much like a quick play, we can activate this whenever. Target land you control becomes a 4/4 elemental creature with haste until the end of the turn, and it's still going to be considered a land. However, it must be blocked this turn if possible. So, as far as strategies go, you turn 1 forest into a monster. It's cool. It's 4/4. They have to block it, which means they now have to send all their blockers at it, I believe. Because of the way the wording is. If I'm wrong, that's fine. It may just mean that at least one of their monsters has to block it. But it's been a minute since I've played this, so it could go either way. Now, we're going to play some Awaken spells in and around our sorceries, so buckle in. We are going to play 2 copies of Earthen Arms on 2. This will allow us to put 2 1/1 counters on target permanent, whether it's a land or a creature. The Awaken 4, if we cast the spell for the Awaken cost instead, we may place 4 1/1 counters on target land we control, and it becomes a 0/0 elemental with haste, still going to count as land. But if we do that, we should be able to place those 2 counters on it as well, and that would go ahead and make it a 6/6 elemental on 7. So that's not too bad. 2 copies Explosive Vegetation. On 4, this allows you to search your library for 2 basic land, put them onto the battlefield tapped, so you'll get those 2 land on the next turn for the mana ramp. 3 copies of Nissa's Judgment. This sorcery has support 2, which allows you to place a 1/1 counter on up to 2 target creatures. And again, I'm not sure. You may be able to target the same card twice or not. I don't think so. I think it has to be 2 different creatures. Choose up to 1 target creature an opponent controls. Each creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it deals damage equal to its power to that creature. So again, it's a nice way to just beat up on something and take it off the board real quick. We're going to run a full playset of 4 copies of Nissa's Pilgrimage. The effect here on 3, search your library for up to 2 basic forest cards, reveal them, and place 1 into play tapped and the other into your hand. Spell Mastery, if there are 2 or more instant and or sorceries already in the graveyard, search library for 3 instead of 2. So again, the further in, the more effects you get. Again, this Mastery came out during Magic Origins, which was really cool. And then the next 3, we're going to be using Nissa's Renewal. Another great spell here. Cast on 6. Search library for up to 3 basic land. Place them onto the field tapped. Shuffle library, but also gain 7 life. So again, if you guys aren't used to me talking about like magic hit points, Generally speaking, you start at 20 in the main formats, and this allows you to basically gain almost 50% of your health. And then the last spell that I use is a single copy of Nissa's Revelation, cast on 7, scry 5. So you get to excavate without showing your opponent. Then reveal the top card of your library after you decide if you're going to put them back in any order, or maybe scrying maybe lets you put them at the bottom. Again, bid a minute. If it's a creature card, when you go to do the reveal of the top card, you draw cards equal to its power and gain life equal to its toughness. So again, it's a really good idea to keep things like the Hydras and stuff in a deck where you're going to use this. But this is my Nissa Ravane, sort of, I guess, just modern mono green. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you have, and you'd like to support the channel, like, comment, subscribe are the easiest things to do. Additionally, we're going to have some more openings of D&D miniatures coming up, so enjoy them. And do your best to enjoy today, too, okay? Don't ever forget to do that. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Peace.